Man, the NFL is handing out deals like candy. You get a deal. You get a deal. You get a deal. We all get deals.
Oh,
It is absolute madness, and we are so stoked to break it down with you guys on this episode. And this awesome episode is brought to you by Huga House. Looking for top of the line quality hats, beanies, long sleeves, and hoodies at a competitive price? Check out Huga House and use code FLAG15 for 15% off your purchase.
hmm
That's FLAG15 for 15% off at checkout. Worn by people such as Aaron Rodgers, Shane Gillis, Shohei Ohtani, Josh Allen, and more. Shop Huga House today. And before we get into all of that, we just want to thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you are dropping a like and a subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you're dropping a like or a follow on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you may be finding us. We thank you. And make sure to follow us also on our socials at Flag on the Take on TikTok and Instagram, just so you can stay tuned and see stuff as it breaks in real time. But Jordan, how are you, bro?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing today on this fantastic second day of free agency?
I'm doing great, man. We have had an absolute flurry of moves today. That's why I got to tell people to
Absolutely.
subscribe, man. They got to see because we're about to break all the at least semi-relevant news.
Yeah,
Now, definitely all the major ones, but you know how we are. You know we get in the weeds, especially when it
yeah.
comes to football.
Hopefully we got
So,
some more dropping off during the episode. But
yeah,
yeah,
that would
I'm
be
excited to get into this.
absolutely sick.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
yes, that is right. Today's episode will be if not 100%, 95% focused on NFL free agency because that's all anybody can talk about right now because
Absolutely.
the NFL is giving out millions and millions of dollars in free agency.
Yep.
Actually, it's billions now. I think it's almost 2.5 billion that's been
Yeah.
given out in this free agency cycle.
Salary cap keeps going up. Contracts keep going up. Because again, salary cap isn't the highest it's been in league history. That's going to
Yeah,
continue to
they
rise,
raised it by
especially
20 million.
the market keeps going up, so the contracts are going to get bigger. It's just it is what it is. But hey, it's fun to watch. I'm not going to lie. So no
That's what I
complaints on
was
this side.
explaining to Haley. It's not like people go into negotiations wanting a set amount. They go in wanting a percentage of the cap.
hmm
That's why the deals keep going up because
Yep.
people want percentage of the cap. They don't want like, oh, I need 20 million. They're like, no, I want 10% of the cap.
hmm
So, let's get into the trades that were first because these trades were absolutely groundbreaking. I would say both of them were shocking. One of them we
Yeah.
expected to happen but weren't expecting the team, and
Yeah.
then the other one just came absolutely out of left field.
Yeah.
And Jordan, before I let you get into it cuz I know you got a lot to say, all I got to say right now, man, is after what Omar Khan did what he did, you know Mike T's hitting the podium.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
You know he's
You
going to hit the podium.
We're
He
not
is
going to apologize for winning.
no
Yeah,
at
he is
all.
not. Jordan is no longer apologizing. Tell him about it all.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers have traded for wide receiver DK Metcalf, the
Oh,
Seattle Seahawks wide receiver. So as everybody knows, DK's a pretty good receiver. Seahawks has just been kind of on a downward slope. Even they got Geno. They had a couple good years out of Geno. He's on to the Raiders, but we'll talk about that soon. Um, but yeah, I like the trade. We got him for a second round pick, and we also extended him to a $150 million contract that's paid over 5 years. Makes him the fourth or fifth highest paid receiver in the league right now. Now, I'm not going to say that it's the greatest contract, but in terms of where the receiver market is going, I'm not mad about it. I mean, I think he's better than Ayuk, and Ayuk's about to make the same amount. So it is, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
yeah, you
But
guys were actually in the race to get IU last year
yeah,
as
so
well.
we got a better receiver, so I'm not too mad about it. And we only paid like 3 mil extra, 2 mil extra. Um, I'm not mad. So my thing is, and we all know, we don't. He has nobody to throw him the ball right now. So we're gonna have to see what Aaron Rodgers does later on today or wherever else. But as far as the trade for the Steelers, I'm going to say it's a good trade. You automatically upgrade your receiving core. Calvin Austin is no longer your receiver two. George Pickens is your receiver two,
For
which is
now.
saying something. Yeah, which is saying something. I don't know if this is trade bait for George. I do think that they're going to let this rock for 1 year since George's contract isn't up yet. Um, and I feel like this could be a career year for George because we all know that DK is going to get doubled. DK is going to get the majority of the attention. He's going to get the number one corner on him most of the time. So I think this will do wonders for George if he does stay, if he doesn't get traded during the draft or whatever else.
I was
Because we
going to
never
say, I
know.
think George is going to like request a trade within a
Yeah,
week here.
we know it depends on how he takes it as to whether we'll keep him or not. Um, but I'm excited for this. My only thing is, and I think you'll agree with me, they're kind of similar in the sense that their games are definitely different. I think DK runs a little bit more crispier routes than George. Not saying DK is like a premier route runner, but as far as being big vertical threats, their game is very much similar. Like they're not
Oh yeah.
you don't line them up everywhere. You know, they're usually outside, they're usually running vertical routes or they're just going deep, taking the head top off people. George is a little bit better at the combat catches. DK can moss people. That's not really his game. His contested catch percentage is like 30 or below. You know what I mean? And it's been
Oh
going
yeah.
down in recent years, so it's not part of his game. It's more George's game. Um, but I do think they'll be able to complement each other well as far as coverages and things of that nature. But we'll see what we do as far as a slot receiver, whether we'll try to sign one more veteran or if we'll go through the draft. But we'll see. I'm excited about it. But what do you think about it?
Well, I mean, I have two questions for you. One,
Hmm.
when are they going to fist fight to determine who's wearing number
Yeah,
14?
I keep seeing the memes like that. They keep, they're cracking me up. You ever see the video of the two football players who are in the locker room just punching each other in the chest?
Yeah.
That's the video I keep seeing. They're like George and DK fighting over 14 before the season
And
starts.
also, you're happy now, but how pissed off are you going to be when George and DK are competing to see who can get more 15-yard penalties on a single drive? Who can
I'd
have the most
rather have DK
unsportsmanlike
because I feel
conduct?
like he'll be less of a headache and he'll give you more production out of the two. So I'm saying like if they're both doing that stupid stuff during the season and it comes to somebody has to go, of course it's going to be George because he has a contract year coming up. You just signed DK to 150 mil, so
Yeah, George is definitely leaving.
I honestly think George is going to respond to this well. He doesn't strike me as the type to back. He's not going to do what Kenny Pickett did. Kenny Pickett didn't want competition. I don't
More on
think
him
that's in
later.
George's blood. George is a competitor. Now he can get real iffy sometimes because he gets hot that he doesn't get the ball. So we'll see because they're both ball dominant receivers. We'll see how it
Mhm.
goes. I think we're going to have to pass the ball a lot more, which is a whole different conversation whether we get A Rod or Russell Wilson. But either way, it does make us better. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping that they're not scuffling. I don't think they'll scuffle. I think, like you said, it'll be more so the penalty. DK's already been like the most penalized receiver in the league.
Because he just throw his
Yeah,
hands
and then
anytime he gets
George, we
help.
know he'll be fine, but if something irks him, he's just gonna start doing dumb stuff.
Like that when he dropped an elbow on that
Yeah, or
dude.
like when we lost against the Cowboys, and he just like pulls homie's helmet for no
Oh,
reason. Like stupid stuff like that. You just crashing out because you're angry. Like don't be doing dumb stuff,
Bro
bro.
didn't catch the Hail Mary, so he's like,
He
yeet.
literally was just crashing out because we lost. I'm like, dog, come on. Like
You know what they're calling them? The generational crash outs.
he is. Like
No,
that's
both
why I
of
don't.
them.
I'm scared he'll never reach his full, but because he has like top five talent, but he'll never reach it just because he's a generational crash out. And you can't like, bro. He's like, you know who Aaron the plumber is?
Yeah.
No, he's like Aaron the plumber, but at receiver, dog. Something's wrong with him. Like yeah, he's, yeah. They say Aaron's always looking for a fade, bro. That's George, dog. Something's wrong with him. Like, he legit. There is something wrong with this man. But
If you
we'll
if you
see.
want, I have my my immediate reaction to the trade on recorded. If you'd
Oh
like
yeah,
to hear it.
yeah. I need that.
All right, so I'm driving home and stop to get gas,
Hmm.
and my fiance tells me that something about DK went down, but like she didn't like open it yet. So I look at my phone and I see the tweet from Schefter saying
Hmm.
that DK got traded to the Steelers, and it was just
Ah, fuck.
yeah, that was the immediate reaction. It's just like
How do you feel about Nate Wiggins having to 180-pound Nate Wiggins having to cover 240-pound 6'4" DK?
Ah, fuck.
that's how I feel about it.
You see, Brandon Stevens is gone.
Bye.
Yeah. Oh gosh, he got. I've been. It's been on Twitter everywhere. I know it's kind of a pivot, but I just thought it was funny because I was thinking about your corners, and I think he went to. Oh, I forgot. But there was a
He went to
Twitter
the
war
Jets.
between the two fan bases. Where did
He
he
went
go?
to the Jets.
Bro, the Jets fans have been arguing with the Ravens fans. It's been so funny. The Ravens fans has been like, "Dog, he's dog water." Like
He is.
y'all are gonna see.
You know what's crazy? We almost gave him 4 years, 80 million last
He's
offseason
terrible. Why?
because he
And
had
he's
one good
awful.
year.
No, he's awful. Like
See,
awful.
people keep coming up to me like, "Oh, you lost Brandon Stevens." Like, "Oh, you lost a corner when your secondary was already trash." And all I gotta say about that is,
I'm not making myself clear. I don't give a fuck.
It's addition by
he
subtraction.
was so bad.
He was like Baltimore's Artie Burns.
Yes, he was so bad.
Dog. Yeah, I'm
And
glad. I'm not glad
like
y'all got rid of him, but
back to your point, like Nate Wiggins, he'll be step for step with him, but he ain't gonna win that jump ball.
yeah. Only
But then again, neither was Stevens. Stevens wouldn't be
Nate's
step for
Nate's
step or
scrappy
catch
though.
it.
I think Nate's gonna.
Oh yeah.
Nate's scrappy. He's gonna make a couple plays. That's just what he does. He's not
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be like
Nate's an
dog the
absolute
whole
weapon.
game.
I love that dude.
Yeah.
Wiggs is already one of my favorite players on the Ravens.
Yeah.
But speaking of another local team, the Commanders pull off the trade nobody saw coming.
This one
I
was.
mean,
They gave up a lot though. It was like a second, a
you gotta think about
third.
you gotta think
Yeah.
about
It
who they
was,
got and where he plays.
yeah. And he's
I
also
mean, they
considered a top 5 tackle, possibly top 3, honestly.
yeah. So the
So
Washington Commanders, for those who don't know, traded second round pick this year, and I
a
think it was
third.
like
I think a third for this or next year. I forget.
oh yeah, it was like a third this year, and then it was like a 2 and a 4 next year.
Yeah. They gave up
It's
a lot.
something along those lines. But they gave up a lot to get who I would say like a consensus top 3 left tackle in all of football, who's still in his prime.
Hmm
And
he's not as old as I thought he was.
the
He's
trade
still
is confusing to me because why would the Texans do that? Act
Their
like the
line was trash with
so
Laramie.
bad.
Yeah.
He was the only good one.
Yes. So it doesn't make sense for them to put their backup in that position because I've seen Texans fans get mad because I forgot his name, but their backup tackle is Dookie, and now he's
And
going to
they
be their
traded
starter.
their starting guard to the Eagles, which we'll get
Mm-hmm.
into later. But like, shout out the Commanders pushing all their chips into the middle this
Yeah,
offseason.
yeah. They saw that they got to the NFC Championship with a roster they got talent, but there was no reason for them to be in the NFC Championship, and they're
Yeah,
they're only
now they
getting
got
better. So we'll
they
see.
got another weapon. They got a new left tackle to protect Jaden. Like
Hmm
they just gotta,
Defense, they're going crazy on that D line, but we'll
they
get
just
into it.
they just got to hit the defense in the draft too. They got to
Yeah,
get younger because like
yeah.
Bobby Wagner's not going to be good forever.
Hmm
But yeah, we can get into some of the free agency signings. So there was a lot, not really much today, but I'm sure by the time this comes out, I'm sure there will be a bunch more that we missed. So sorry about that, but a lot went down on Monday, and we broke it down by division. So obviously we're gonna save the AFC North for last because that's what we'll probably spend the most amount of time talking about.
hmm
But we have all of the relatively important people here. So Seattle's only made one move, and I think it's a huge move. I'm kind of interested to hear what you think about it, considering you were also in play for this guy. But
The
Sam Darnold, the belle of the ball, goes to the Seattle Seahawks for 3 years, $100.5 million with 55 guaranteed.
It's literally the Baker Mayfield deal. The only difference is Sam Darnold got like 5 more million guaranteed,
Yeah,
and just like I think a little bit more as far as base salary. But I mean, I wouldn't have liked this deal. I would have rather put him on like a 2. I think for the Seahawks, it's fine. You know,
but
especially
they
since
can
they're
get
in
out
like
after 2. That's
that's
why
what I'm
it's like
saying. I
so
like the
different.
deal for Sam. I like the deal for the Seahawks because if you can get, I don't think he's going to be what he was with the Vikings, but if you can get 85
No,
or 90% of that, I think you'll be good.
yeah, he'll be really good.
Yeah, but so say he's like 28-11. I think they'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah,
Um,
at least they still have JSN. They have
yeah,
one receiver left.
yeah. I like this for Seattle. I know we put in an offer. I doubt it was anything like this because we like to lowball and try to see if we can get a steal.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, no, I like this for both sides. I like the fact that Sam gets a second chance. He's only what 27,
yeah,
28.
27. Yep.
So he's still, even if this doesn't work out, he's still going to get another opportunity in the league just because of his age. But I like this deal for both sides. I don't know who he's going to throw to other than JSN, and we don't even know if we can trust JSN as the number one yet. We'll see.
We're gonna
I
find
don't
out.
know what they were doing in that aspect because I feel like, now, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback after this deal, at least not in this draft,
No,
unless
not
it's
this
like
draft.
later,
No.
later, later round. But I also don't know why you would swing, because even though it's not like a crazy, crazy deal, it's a pretty big deal. So like I don't know why you would take a swing like this if you were gonna get rid of everybody, because you cut Tyler Lockett, you traded DK, you only have JSN on the roster as far as receivers concerned. So I'm not really sure and I'm not sure, is Noah Fant even still there? I don't think so.
I think he's gone.
Yeah, so like I don't know the thought process, but we'll see. What do you think of it?
So they traded Geno Smith because apparently they offered him the same exact deal and he said no. So they were like, all right, screw it. We'll trade him because we know we can get Sam Darnold on the deal. So I don't hate it. They got a 3rd-round pick for Geno for a mid-30s quarterback who people are like, oh, Geno's borderline top 10. He's really not.
No,
He's
but the
not
only
that
thing about
good.
Geno, even with him being 35, think about it though. He was on the shelf in Seattle for like 8 years, so he doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires, even with his age.
Yeah, but he's not going to keep improving. Like he's
No,
pulling down
he
from
is what he
year.
is at this point. He's not going to get better.
Sam could at least if he doesn't get better, could still maintain this for
He
much
can be
longer.
consistent in this form that he's in right now. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so I mean, plus then you're already paying your quarterback, so you know like what you have to play with for the rest of the roster. I don't hate it. I just want to see what they do with the picks.
Yeah, I want to see what they do with the roster, because I felt like they didn't have to start a whole on rebuild. I felt like they could have retooled. That's just me.
Yeah,
But they're just starting to rebuild, and I'm like, okay, if you want to blow it all up, I didn't think they had to, but
I mean they just need to hit the line and then get a couple defensive pieces, and I think they would be fine.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why they, especially on the offensive side of the ball, why they blew it up. But
Yeah, I mean getting rid of Geno, I don't blame them. DK wanted out, so like I don't blame them for that.
DK just
Lockett,
wanted a contract. I don't know if that's the only reason he wanted out.
I don't know because like that trade request caught me by surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's kind of like what the hell are they doing over there? But I'll give them a chance to play it out and see what goes on for them.
Yeah,
I don't I can't see them winning more than like 10 games this year. And that's if they hit on their picks.
yeah.
So, we'll see. We'll see what they're cooking. I'll give them a chance. Next up for the Rams, Devontae Adams is obviously the big news for them. He signs a 2-year, $46 million deal with 26 guaranteed. And
I think this is a steal.
yeah, that and they just they settled who's going to be wearing number 17. Did you
Puka's
see that?
changing to 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Change it to the college number.
Yep, I like
So
that.
I love this deal for the Rams. It's an upgrade over Cooper Kupp in my opinion. Like Devontae's still that guy. Like he's not 100% what he used to be, but he's still that guy.
And I thought he was still going to get a semi bag. This actually
Yeah.
isn't that bad,
No, this is affordable.
especially since he's getting 26 mil up front. So the yearly's down even more. Yeah, I think this is a steal.
Hey,
I think this
that
is a
Rams
steal.
team is going to be scary good.
Yeah,
next
but he said he wanted to go West Coast, and I kind of had a feeling that it wasn't going to be anywhere like the North or something like that. I doubted it, especially this late in his career. He's kind of already, other than a ring, he's accomplished what he's wanted to accomplish. So
I can't believe he didn't go to the Chargers. I thought that's who he was going to go to.
yeah, I feel like that would have gave him a good shot too. The Chargers still need a big baller receiver. I'm thinking they're going to go draft at this point.
They have to. They don't have a choice. They're all gone. But if you're defending against the Rams, who do you cover first? Because like they have 2 1s. Like Adams is a 1 and Puka's a 1.
This is going to sound crazy, but you just going to have to hope that they're not healthy like they usually are. Because like even last year and the year before, we saw it. They'll be like dog water for like the first half of the season because they have nobody on the field. And as soon as they get healthy, they start putting up 35 freaking points a game, and they're hanging with everybody. I think if they're healthy out the gate, they're going to win 10, 11 games.
I think they cover Puka. I think teams cover Puka as the wide receiver 1.
And I think that's going to free up Devontae. Because once again, he's not what he once was,
crazy.
but he's still a route savant, boy. He's going to
If
get
you
open.
told me like 3 years ago Devontae Adams was not going to get wide receiver 1 treatment, I would have been like, you are high.
Yeah. Depending on the team he'd go to, he would get wide receiver 1 treatment. It's just the fact that he went to the Rams, who have a young stud at receiver.
Yeah, that's insane. And we'll touch on the Niners because although they haven't signed anyone, they've damn near lost everyone. So I wonder how these Brock Purdy negotiations are going if they just keep cutting ties with everyone.
Yeah.
So we'll keep tabs on them. I'm curious because I keep hearing that the negotiations are going well. I just wonder how long till it breaks. But the Cardinals have also been relatively quiet. I felt like they were slowly like on a 2% incline on the way up. last
We were
year.
kind of saying that though, yeah.
So I'm surprised they were super quiet. Like all they've done so far is they brought in Josh Sweat, which is a really good edge rusher from the Eagles.
Yeah.
4 years, 76 and
Hear
a half
me out.
million. What?
I know edge rushers make a lot, so I don't want to say that this is an overpay. But Josh Sweat was also on the Eagles, and we know what they have on that roster.
Yeah,
Do
but
you think he's going to be the same when it comes
not
to Arizona?
as
Because they
good.
got
But like
nothing.
when you're a team like Arizona, you have to overpay to get guys to go there.
I know.
Like when you're not that good, like
I
you
was
have
thinking
to
what you were
overpay.
thinking. Yeah, I wanted to know what you thought about that because
It's
I
only
thought
41 of it's guaranteed, so I
Yeah.
feel like they can get out of it early.
edge rushers are making a bag now, so I don't think it's crazy.
You might have thought they overpaid on Josh Sweat, but I think this next one's an absolute steal for them. They got Baron Browning for 2 years, $15 million. That's actually absurd.
Who's that? Because that sounds familiar. I know who that is.
He was on the Broncos and he was tearing it up, and they traded him to the Cardinals.
Was he an outside
Like, at the
backer?
trade deadline.
Was he?
Yeah, edge rusher.
Okay, I do know
I
him.
thought he was
Okay.
really good, and
Yeah.
they got it for a steal in my opinion.
2 for 15 is crazy. Yeah, for sure.
But speaking of steals, the Tampa Bay Bucks keep their own Chris Godwin's 3 years, $66 million, 44 guaranteed,
Took a
and
hometown
allegedly left over $20 million on the table.
From the Patriots, right?
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
R.I.P. the Patriots, man. They've been looking for a receiver for a minute. They just cannot hit. They're going to have to get somebody in the draft.
I think they're getting Cooper Kupp. That's been my prediction.
I think they're going to go McMillan if they don't get Coop. Or they'll get Coop. They'll still go draft even if they get Coop, I believe.
Oh, do you think they're going to draft? I never get his name right.
Tatario McMillan?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think either him. Well, he's not really number one anymore, is he?
I think they're going to
Because everybody had a good
offensive tackle.
combine. You think they're going to go tackle?
I think they're going to go the LSU guy, Campbell.
Or they might go the OSU guy.
I feel like that's early. I think they're going to go the
I'm just
the
saying.
LSU guy.
Because
Yeah.
he's been up on draft boards.
Yeah, right. But shout out to the Bucks. They got Chris Godwin back on a team-friendly deal, which is actually insane. And then they also brought Levante David back for the 120th season.
On a $9 million. He's supposed to have been retired like 2 years ago.
Dude, he's been on status for like 5 years
Yeah.
now.
Every time that he signs back, I'm just like, okay, he's back now.
And they also added Hassan Reddick to go on the other side of him. 1 year, $14 million, 12 of it guaranteed. So
That's a boomer bust to me.
Hassan Reddick is actually going to play this year. Holy shit. Never
That's a
thought
boomer
I'd see the
bust to me.
day.
Definitely a boomer bust to me.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're a team like the Bucks and you're like not average, but you're like above average, but you're not like great.
They're slightly above
gotta take-
average.
you
They
gotta
can
take
get to that
chances.
good. Yeah, for sure.
So
Because they're like perennially 9-8.
like
10
10
and
and
7.
7. Yeah,
Yeah.
10 and 7, yeah. And then the Saints, I don't even know how they had the money to do this, but they paid Chase Young, local kid, 3 years, $51 million. Good for Chase, man.
That's an overpay for me.
Oh, it definitely is. But
Yeah.
like I said, good for Chase.
Oh,
Local
yeah, for
Maryland
sure.
kid.
I'm just glad that, because you remember how his rookie year, he had like the 7-8 sacks, and we're like, okay, he's going to build off of this. And it just seemed like he just kind of plateaued. And it's not
Well,
really
like,
his fault because of the
physically,
injuries.
He has all the tools. For me, it's an overpay because he can't stay on the field. If he stays on the
Yeah.
field, he's worth it.
Yeah. I thought he was supposed to be so good, man. It's like,
He
it's one of
was.
those ones that's very unfortunate.
He
But I'm
has-
glad he
he
still
had-
got a bag.
Yeah, he had all the tools, but like I said, it's literally only health. I think if he never got injured, he would be like talked about as like these bigger guys.
You know, the TikTok people they be saying some craziness. I seen this TikTok that it was like, Chase Young got paid based off his aura. I was like, dang, they're kind of right.
What?
I was like, dang, they're kind of right. But no, I'm happy for him. What does this do as far as the Saints cap situation? Well, I'm pretty
Just
sure they're
makes
still
it
in cap
worse.
now. Okay.
They're
I
like
thought
80
so.
million
But
over the cap. I genuinely don't know what they're gonna do.
can I go into
Travis,
this next one that we're going to talk about real quick after you finish up with the Saints?
Yeah. I was
Okay.
just gonna say this is anytime your team restructures a contract, this is what happens. The Saints is what happens. They restructured for years and years and years and years, and now you're 80 million in cap hell. So it might seem like a good idea to restructure guys, but I never really am a fan of it just because I know this happens. If you do like one or two guys, it's not the end of the world. But when you restructure everyone, is how you get in this situation. But go ahead, bro.
I saw this J.C. Horn contract initially. J.C. Horn re-signed to the
Yeah.
Panthers, and I thought it was a major overpay, major. But then when you look at it, was his 75 a signing bonus?
I didn't dig too deep into it.
If it was, I feel like that's a steal. Because if you pay him 75 up front, and then over those 4 years, was it 25 mil?
Yes, it's saying average 25 million a season. It says average
Highest paid corners, what, like 35, 30?
something like that. It says that it's for 100 million, includes 70 million guaranteed. It averages 25 million per season. It could reach a maximum of 108 with incentives. It doesn't say anything about the signing bonus.
Okay. I'm going to say it's a little bit overpay, only because I'm pretty sure that Pat Surtain's making like 30 off of his new deal. And if we're
Yeah.
comparing the two, it's not even close. I don't think JC should even be within that ballpark. And that's not even no disrespect because he's still a decent corner, but
Oh
it's kind of
yeah.
crazy. So I'm going to say it's a little bit of an overpay for sure, but I'm guessing they're getting ahead of the market. I don't know who else is due, but, corners are starting to make bags now. So,
Yeah, I'm trying to see. It's not a. Yeah, I'm not seeing. They don't have any details out yet on the new one in terms of like the signing bonuses and everything. I don't hate it as long as he keeps getting better. Like he's gotten better each of the past couple of years. As long as he keeps getting better and becomes like a top 5 guy, it's definitely worth it. And the Panthers are in the same boat as the Cardinals. Like you have to overpay guys to get them to go there.
mm-hmm.
And I know they drafted him, but like I'm sure he wanted to play for a winner. So
For
they
sure.
definitely had to give him shut up money.
Shut up, buddy.
And then they also added, so they were supposed to get Milton Williams, who ended up going to the Patriots. That deal was signed and sealed, but it wasn't delivered, I guess, because he turned his back on them and went to the Patriots. So
That's
they
that's the thing about that legal tampering period. It's not ink the paper until Wednesday, man.
Oh yeah, but they did get Trayvon Moehrig, 3 years, 51 million. That's an above average safety, so
He's a
I
good
don't hate
safety,
that for
yeah.
them. Yeah,
No, I
so
like that for them.
mean, Panthers got plenty of money to burn, so they got to beef up somehow. But speaking of beefing up, dude, the Minnesota Vikings could be my Super Bowl pick next year. Like they have just gone absolutely nuclear in free agency, and you already know I'm high on JJ McCarthy, and you already know that how I feel about Kevin O'Connell, man. I mean, they got Will Fries to a 5-year, $88 million deal to go play guard there, and then they signed Ryan Kelly on a 2-year, $18 million deal to center. And then they got Jonathan Allen for 3 years, $60 million as defensive tackle. So they're beefing up both lines.
They
Got
re-signed Aaron Jones, re-signed
Yep.
Byron Murphy.
Absolutely. So watch out for the Minnesota Vikings, dude. And if they nail these draft picks, oh god.
Yeah. I'm going to say, and I wonder if you'll agree with me, I'm actually shocked that they're out on Aaron Rodgers, especially with this roster that they have now.
They're allegedly out. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm
wondering if they're a dark horse.
Shefty just said that Justin Reed signed with the Saints for a 3 years, $31.5 million deal, including 22 fully guaranteed. How the hell do they have any money?
They don't.
How do they?
I keep telling
bring
you,
him in?
salary cap is just a suggestion.
It's just a suggestion.
That's all it is. It
Oh
does not
man,
exist.
I wish enough news broke on the pod so we could have like a little drop for it. That'd be funny. Just be like, just hit him with a,
Did somebody say boom?
and then go with the news. But yeah, so that's another piece of news. It's actually quite convenient. We're talking about the NFC South as that news breaks. So shout out to the Saints, I guess, still somehow having money. I don't know. Kellen Moore's gonna have a hell of a project on his hands. But anyways, back to the Vikings. Vikings could low key be a dark horse Super Bowl pick. We'll see how JJ McCarthy looks. It's all gonna rest on his shoulders, but.
I feel like
not from
quarterback's their problem every year. They always got a good roster.
But I'm gonna say it's not from a lack of effort from the GM. I mean, he is cooking. So I'm excited to see who they draft. Moving on, we got the Packers have only made one move. They signed right guard Aaron Banks to a 4-year, $77 million contract. He was playing for the Niners, but obviously Niners don't have the money to pay that guy. So shout out the Packers beefing up the O-line. I mean, I think that's pretty much all they needed on offense, right? Besides a dominant number one.
For sure.
So,
Which I think they'll get Stephon Diggs or somebody just as a security blanket.
but you gotta wait like the first 5 weeks. I think he's gonna be out.
Yeah.
So We'll see about that because the second wave's coming.
I think they'll rather go either draft or go get like Amari Cooper because there's still a
Amari
lot of receivers out
Cooper.
there.
Oh yeah.
You still got Coop, you got Tyler Lockett, you got Stephon Diggs. There's more that I'm missing. There's like a whole list of receivers that are still out there that they could go get.
Hey, maybe the Chargers could go get one of them.
Hmm. They
They
could.
could use a guy like that and then still hit
could.
him in the draft.
Because Chargers can run the ball now. All they need is like a legit number one, and they're good. Which is
Yeah.
why I know they were probably in on DK. I'm pretty sure they were in on DK.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Lions have only made one move, but I absolutely love this move. This guy was an absolute dog for the Jets last year. Lions get DJ Reed on a 3-year contract. I think it was like 45 or 48 million. Either way, that dude up opposite of Sauce Gardner was an absolute nuclear weapon. The Lions have been looking for that dominant number one. We don't know if Terrion Arnold's going to be a dominant number one. I think he's going to be a leaguer for 10 plus years. I don't know if he's going to be a one though.
Cam
DJ
Sutton wasn't
Reed-
the answer.
Yeah, DJ Reed can be a one.
Yeah,
that
for
dude,
sure.
That was a hell of a signing by Brad Holmes.
Lions
out there
took
in
a slot
Detroit.
corner and tried to put him outside. Cam Sutton in his career has never been an outside corner, and they wondered why he got burnt like toast that whole season. They were about to get him out of there by like week 5.
Man, Carlton Davis played good for them last year. He got paid. We'll get into
Yeah,
that.
but he wasn't.
Put it
He
on the
was.
list.
Carlton Davis is one of those players that's just like when he's on, he's on. But like when he's off, he's not terrible. But it's like a little bit to be desired. Because he's had some games where it's a little rough.
Who's that dude that strapped up Justin Jefferson? They need to bring him back. Robertson?
He was on the Lions.
Yeah, what was it? Robertson? Like a Meek Robertson?
I don't know him.
No,
I'm
because
not
he
sure.
was like a what was his name? I'm gonna find him. I'm pretty sure it was like a Meek Robertson. Yeah, Meek Robertson.
Okay.
Yeah, they gotta bring him back. That dude, that was the guy that strapped up Justin Jefferson. Hey, birthday twins! Hell yeah! Love that. He's got the same birthday as me. What a guy! But he's 26 years old, so he's still entering his prime. So the Lions need to make sure they bring him back because even if they only need him for 2 games a year, that alone is worth the contract.
Most definitely.
You can shut down JJ like that. But we'll get to one of my winners here, the Chicago Bears. Low-key winning in free agency.
Got one of the best centers in the league.
Yeah, Drew Dahlman from Atlanta. They made him the second highest paid center, 3 years, $42 million, 28 guaranteed. So they now have whoever they're going to draft at left tackle in the first round, Joe Tooney, Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jackson, who's above average, and then they got Darnell Wright, the right tackle, who was their best offensive lineman last year.
They're going to be way better on the O-line. On paper. We'll see.
If they get Banks from Texas, that's going to be nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ben Johnson's offense needs a top 5 offensive line. And
Oh, yeah.
if they draft Banks and slot him in at left tackle, they very well could have a top 5 offensive line, in my opinion. So, and then they also signed Grady Jarrett to what was it? I just had it.
Underrated signing. 3 years, $43 million.
Yeah, absolutely underrated because he was awesome for the decade he was in Atlanta. So I think he can bring some veteran leadership, and I still think he's got stuff in the tank. So
He does for sure.
I'm happy for him. Moving
I
on.
remember when he got drafted.
Oh yeah, I remember when he
Yeah.
broke out. I don't remember him getting drafted, but I remember him breaking out. Dog. We got the NFC East up next. We'll start with the Commanders, who made that awesome Laramie Tunsil trade. They also signed Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle, 3 years, $45 million, 30 guaranteed. That's a good signing. Like I know Deron Payne's going to be the number 1 defensive tackle now, and they got that Newton guy, the guy who's going to be a second-year player now, that they're very high on. So those 3 like rotating, I think, could be a very good interior defensive line for them.
Yep. Re-signed Zach Ertz and Bobby Wagner. Those are both A-plus
Hell yeah.
re-signs, I believe, just
You
because they
had
fit
to.
so much to what they do.
Yeah, you could not let those guys walk.
Yeah.
I don't think they wanted to leave, to be honest.
Mm-mm.
But man,
Especially with what they got building right now. I wouldn't want to leave either.
you are gonna love this next trade.
Oh, I know. I already
Go
saw
ahead
it.
and tell
I'm
the
happy.
Go tell the people.
Okay. So, I'm gonna tell it in a story. So, me, J. Lou, especially with free agency been going on, Unc has been scrolling on Twitter. He's been refreshing his Twitter over and over again just to see, what news is breaking, right?
What?
So, I refresh my Twitter. I see Shefty report. Kenny Pickett. Traded to the Cleveland Browns for DTR and a 5th round pick. When I tell you, and then it comes out that he's going to compete for the starting job, I saw that Brown's Twitter was in shambles. It was bro. I saw the quote where it was like Myles Garrett was happy that he was going to get free agents to sign. They signed a backup tackle and they traded for Kenny Pickett to be a starter. I am loving life right now. Life is so good, man. I used to pray for times like this, man. This is amazing. Life is amazing. It is what it should be. Jersey Jake, he knew what he was saying when he said that bar, bro.
Man, Kenny Pickett getting traded to the Browns, man. Normally, I don't like it when people get traded into our division because, like, I don't want to have to deal with it. But, man, for this one,
I'm cool with this.
Oh, this is the greatest trade they could have ever made in their lives. Hey, you know, he's probably going to start at some point during the season. Oh, I can't wait.
Hey, we might end up on freezing cold takes one day, so what's up, guys? Get a nice screenshot there.
Oh, I can't wait.
But oh man, yeah, that was absolutely.
I think Dorian Thompson-Robinson, he's going to do well in the Eagles, though. I think it fits him a little bit more than the Browns do.
Yeah, DTR plays like a Walmart brand Jalen Hurts, so that'll be a perfect backup. Definitely fits in better than
It'll be like Huntley in Baltimore.
Lamar. Yeah, it'll be like Huntley and Lamar. So yeah, I don't hate the trade for the Eagles at all. I actually love this trade.
Yeah.
But speaking of people that have unlimited money, the Eagles brought back Zach Bond on a 3-year, $51 million, 34 guarantee. You know what? I just want to say, good for Zach Bond. Bro was on the fringes of being cut out of the league. Bro played on vet min last year, and he just got $34 million.
He was the finalist for Defensive Player of the Year. Yep.
So imagine going from you think your days are numbered in the NFL and you just got $34 million hitting your bank account.
Oh,
man.
heck yeah.
I'm so happy for him as a human, man. Great for him.
For sure.
For the Eagles, as long as they keep Vic Fangio, it's going to be a great signing. If Vic Fangio ever retires, then they might be in trouble. Yeah, right. They might be cooked. Oh man, and then the Dallas Cowboys. They they're not going to apologize for winning.
We're not going to apologize for winning.
I don't like neither of these signings.
Yep.
Neither of these signings.
I don't hate them as depth signings. They're not bad depth.
Because Javonte Williams, if you had told me that you had traded him after his rookie year and it was his second year, I would have been more excited for the Cowboys. Even though I don't like the Cowboys, I'm saying it for the player.
Hey, tread lightly. That's a UNC guy.
For the player. I like Javonte. Javonte has not been the same since his ACL was
tread lightly.
You know he hasn't been the same since that ACL blew out.
He's been ass since he tore his ACL. Don't have to remind me.
I'm just saying. Now, is he better than what the Cowboys got? Yeah. Does he have a chance to start? Yeah, but I think they're going to go get Genty, so probably
think he's
not.
Better than hitting him with the Rico?
Yes. Rico Dowdle was good for like 2 games. Yes. I think he's way better than Rico. Not way, but he's better than Rico Dowdle for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But man, it's good depth signings. But if that's like what you headline your free agency class with, that's a problem.
We're going all in.
And they re-signed Kevontae Turpin, making him the highest paid special teamer, which I think is deserved because he's the best kick returner in the league.
Yeah. It's not saying much with the new rules.
No, I mean he had that crazy return last year.
Did he have a return last year?
You don't remember in the Washington game? So
the spin move.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, yeah.
He pulled a Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, did this little spin, like the Madden spin. I remember.
Dude, he's so fast.
I remember.
But per usual with the Dallas Cowboys.
The hell are you doing?
I don't know, Colin. You tell me. But
I'm old now, boy. These plays are blending together for me. I can't believe that was the same year. Dog.
Unk status. We call you that for a reason.
For real, man.
Before you talk about this next signing, I just want to say, shout out my boy Kyle. The only signing they've made so far. I know he's pissed about that, but Unk, I cannot stress to you the amount of heartbreak this move hurt for me. Not because of who it was or where he went. Like, normally it wouldn't bother me, but watching my fiance go through pure, utter heartbreak and devastation over this move, it broke my heart.
You know how I feel about my
team. He didn't play for my team, and he's not going to my team. But to watch her go through that pure devastation of watching her favorite player leave in free agency, bro, that shit broke my heart.
We
like,
literally
real pain.
We literally lost 25% of our starters in free agency. this year,
Bro, she
and
was in
I am
real pain over that
hurting.
Najee signing.
First off, I told you already what he does for the locker room, and what he does. Just he was a Steeler through and through,
How could you
and
not like him?
just the fact that he didn't fit our scheme, but that he still put up 1,000 yards every freaking season is just so very telling. He's gonna kill it on the Chargers because they're nothing but a downhill running team. Him and JK are gonna kill.
DK's a free
Um,
agent.
they're not gonna sign him back.
He hasn't signed yet.
Okay. Well, if either way, he's going to kill with them because they're very much a downhill running team. We're more a zone running team. We're going to need a fast one cut back who we'll probably get in the draft. We're going to need like
Marion Hampton.
or more. We're going to need probably like Trevion Henderson or
Oh yeah, get him. In
Judkins.
Like
We're probably going to get somebody like that, but or Sampson from
Dylan
Tennessee.
Sampson from
Yeah.
Tennessee. What a weapon that guy.
Yeah. So I think we're going to get a fast, little one cut back that's going to fit our zone scheme a lot more. Najee was just in the wrong scheme, but he still did what he could do. Sometimes he was so frustrating to me because there were times where some of it wasn't his fault. It was either the line wasn't blocking or he wasn't reading the holes. And then there was other times where he literally just looked unstoppable. And he was just running over everybody. But his attitude was always the same. He always came to work. He never showed lack of effort. He was Iron Man, never missed a game. And
Was it you that told me this stat that like his yards before contact was a negative number last season?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's something crazy because he was always getting hit in the backfield. Because I forgot what the conversation was, but yeah, I think we were talking about it on the show.
We definitely did at one point because it blew my mind.
It was insane, bro. And I feel I'm happy for him because I know as far as stress, his stress is going to be relieved. First off, he's going to be back home because he's from the West Coast anyway.
I keep forgetting he's a Cali guy.
Yeah, he's back home. This is going to be good for him. If he balls out this year, he's going to get a pretty decent contract. He'll never get like a Saquon contract, but he'll get a pretty decent contract.
Right? He got 1 year, $9.5 million, right?
Mm-hmm. I already know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Y'all ain't had $9.5 million to spare.
We did because
No, I know that was a rhetorical question.
We could have paid him that on a yearly basis. Bro, I don't know, man.
You mean to tell me you're gonna get a better running back than Najee Harris? Because respectfully, besides Saquon, obviously, but guys who have signed this offseason, he's the belle of the ball in the running back class.
He's been the best free agent running back, and we just let him walk.
Did you guys even offer?
Yeah, I think so. From what I saw. But I'm pretty sure, like I told you, especially with Omar,
like that.
we love to lowball and hope that somebody takes the bait. That's what we do. And then we call it the con artist stealing somebody. We're just lowballing. That's what it is.
How could you not give him a multiple year deal? He never missed a game and was 1,000 yards.
Never
anytime
complained.
He touched the field.
Never complained.
You said he's a perfect Steeler.
He was. He literally was. And Tomlin loved him. So I don't understand, but it is what it is.
I don't understand how this happened either.
I don't either. And I'm mad about Dante Jackson too. Because granted, he wasn't healthy sometimes, but dang if he wasn't the most consistent as far as getting turnovers for us. And now the Chargers have him too. And he's still young. He's only 27, 28. So, yeah, I'm upset about this. Very much so.
For those who don't know, Dante Jackson signed a 2-year, $13 million deal with the Chargers, was on the Steelers last year. When that deal broke, I was getting coffee with my fiance, and I looked at her, and I was like, you guys didn't have $6.5 per year to spare for freaking Dante Jackson. I'm not saying he needed to be the best corner on your roster, but he was better than Porter last year.
And he had 6 picks last year.
And he only got $6.5 million. You couldn't have gave him a 2-year, $14 million deal, bro.
I couldn't believe it.
Oh,
I don't know if we're trying to get Will Johnson or somebody in the draft or I don't know what we're doing.
You think he's gonna fall that far?
Only because he didn't run it as pro day either.
Yeah, but you really think that's gonna make that big a difference?
Yeah, they've been talking about him falling anyway, and they wanted him to run the 40. You know how they are with these corners.
Here soon.
Yeah,
we could probably do that with the next couple.
We'll see.
Weeks.
There's going to be a couple drops in the draft. We'll see how it falls though. The big board.
What do you think? You want to do it before opening day?
Yeah, for sure.
All right,
so.
Bet. All right, we'll plan that out. So little breadcrumbs for the people who are still listening. If you're still listening, We appreciate you. You are a real one. And please tell your friends and other people you would know that like sports. Because if you're listening 45 minutes in, that means you genuinely enjoy the content, or at least I hope. So please make sure you are subscribed. And as always, we appreciate the love. But back to the Chargers. We got Dante Jackson. They brought back Khalil Mack on a 1-year deal for $18 million. I love that for them.
I love that for them,
Especially because they let Bosa walk. So I love that for them. The only move for the Raiders, besides re-signing Max Crosby to that nuclear contract, which good for Max. I mean, he's the you think of the Las Vegas Raiders, not the Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. Max Crosby is always who comes to mind first. If you say Oakland Raiders, you can say like Bo Jackson and like other names like that. But when you say Las Vegas Raiders, it's always Max Crosby that comes to mind.
Shout out to Max being 5 years sober as well.
Oh, is it 5 years? Man,
5
good
years.
for him. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Great for Max. He's an inspirational story. He can be a little bit of an arrogant douche at times, but great story. Very happy for him. They brought in Geno Smith for a 3rd-round pick, which I love because they could not risk not getting a quarterback at 6.
I think he improves their floor tremendously.
Definitely, but like they needed a quarterback, and I don't think they were confident that the 2 they wanted were going to fall to them, so they were like, all right, we'll just
I don't think
Geno.
this deters them from not drafting Shador.
No, I don't think it does either, but I'm saying this guarantees that, like, if they don't get Shador, they're not like, oh,
They're
fuck.
decent for a year
Like,
or two. Yeah.
They're
sure.
sitting there with their oh shit faces. So,
Geno's going to push that ball downfield to Brock Bowers or whoever else they're going to get in this draft.
oh yeah. And then they signed Alex Kappa to a 2-year, $11 million deal. That was the starting guard for the Bengals last year, who was not great, but he was above average. Like, I would be happy to have him as my starting guard. And then missing one more. Or they signed Jeremy Chen, 2 years, $16 million. Great deal. That dude's a baller.
Yeah. Just got to stay healthy. Yeah.
And now for the 2-time back-to-back 2 out of 3 champion Kansas City Chiefs. Why are they allowed to compete in free agency? Aren't they good enough?
Why are they allowed?
Aren't they good enough?
They need a tight end. That's what they need.
They re-signed Hollywood Brown, 1 year, $11 million, whatever. They signed Elijah Mitchell, 1 year, $3 million. Like, okay, what? Well, wait, no, I can't say whatever to the Elijah Mitchell deal because that dude had flashes in San Francisco, and that son of a bitch is gonna stay healthy and go off for $3 million.
You think that Nick Bolton one is? Because he's not bad. I think from what he was his rookie year to now, he's kind of fallen off just a tiny bit for me.
I think if I were them, I would have rather have kept Willie Gay.
Yeah, Nick Bolton fell off just a little bit. That rookie year, he was looking all right. He was looking good.
They gave him 3 years, 45, 30 guaranteed. That's not a bad deal.
No.
If it would have been like what we gave Roquan, then I would have been like, yee. But for what they gave him, that's not a bad deal, unbiasedly. Although this next deal, you want to talk about banking on potential. Do you even know who this guy is before I
Jalen Moore? I'm not sure.
So, Jalen Moore was who filled in for Trent Williams last year on the Niners.
Oh, that backup tackle. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I saw that.
They gave a backup tackle $15 million a year.
That's desperate, bro. But at the same time,
desperate.
It's, bro,
That's
you
a
know how it is.
signing.
If you are an average tackle, you will make a bag because it is one of
that
the
is
most
that
sought
is
after
a-
positions in the NFL.
Oh my God.
It's
dude,
hard.
that
It's
is-
a hard position to find, man. If you're an average tackle, you will make a bag.
Bro, I saw his name. I said,
What?
like, I didn't even remember who he was. I knew who he was, but I didn't remember. I was like,
We'll talk about it, but
Moore?
we'll talk about it very soon in the next couple minutes. But look at Dan Moore. We'll get into it. That was wild when I saw that. Like,
I couldn't believe it.
bro,
I thought Shefty had a typo.
my jaw dropped to the floor. I said 80 bags, 50 guaranteed. Who is paying that? And then I saw the Titans, and I was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense, bro. There's no way.
I told my fiance, I said, this is the same Dan Moore that y'all just ran out of town.
He was dookie. Trash. Myles Garrett was rubbing his nutsack on him twice a year. It was bad. He had one game. I'm gonna tell you why we were having. He had one game where he locked up Myles Garrett. Like Myles Garrett didn't have like a pressure that game, and like everybody thought that he was the greatest tackle that we've had, and then like
Oh my God.
proceeds to get dog walked for the rest of the year.
I
Oh,
saw
bro's bad.
I saw his name. I saw the Tennessee Titans are giving Dan Moore like across the screen. I'm like, okay, that's a good signing. Like, not a bad. And then I clicked on the notification, and I said $80 million.
Let me get a piece of that. I need that. Let me go block for 80 mil. Let me get a piece.
You want to hear something absolutely absurd?
Why?
They gave him more money than we gave Ronnie Stanley. And as much as
Yeah.
now let me be honest, I have been very vocal with my complaints with
Yes, you
Ronnie
have.
Stanley.
Yes, you have.
I'm not sorry about that. But there is no reason on God's green earth Dan Moore should be making more money than Ronnie Stanley.
Hold on, we'll get into it. Let's get Dre Greenlaw and then Hufunga. We're gonna go
Dude,
right
we
into
gotta
Dan
hit
Moore.
the Broncos too because they're one of my winners in free
Yep.
agency. Dude, they've only made 2 signings. Could be 3 by the time you're hearing this if they secure Evan Ingram.
These
But
are both, in my opinion, boom or
absolute
bust.
dogs.
Boom or bust. Now they are dogs. I'm not saying they cannot play. This isn't like signing for potential because you know
You're
what
talking
they
about
are.
injury risk.
I'm talking about injury because Hufunga in
Yeah.
2022 was one of the best safeties. He was an
Everyone was
all-pro,
calling him Palomalu.
and then he just kind of he couldn't stay healthy. But when he was on the field, he was great. Dre Greenlaw's the same. He's on the
Well,
field. He's a top backer. It's just
He only had 1 injury, but that injury just will not leave him alone.
you got to stay healthy. So if the Broncos, they already had a tough defense. If these two work out like they're supposed to, they might be the best defense in the league.
Dude, Broncos could be like they could be like
They could be 2015 again.
Well, they could be like a 12-win like number 5 seed.
It could be 2015 again.
Dude, they could be like what the Vikings were last year.
Mhm.
Because, like, we'll be honest, we gave Bo Nix plenty of shit in the draft process.
I
But he
still
looked
did,
good.
yeah.
He looked good.
I can't deny that he looked all right. We dogged him out. Y'all dogged him out.
Oh, dude,
Y'all dogged him out too. So that's why we can talk. Everybody else got blown out.
Well, here's the thing. Like, in the draft process, like, I was very low on Bo Nix. But, hey,
Me too.
he showed a lot of flashes. I'm excited to see him.
I'm not hating. I'm not going to hate on him now. We'll see how he
No,
does.
I'm not going to hate on him anymore either. I'll still hold him accountable because I like holding players accountable. But, hey, Bo Nix impressed me. He won me over. So, good for him.
Now back to Dan Moore. I cannot believe
The only move the Titans have made, too.
that they gave this man $80 million. This is what I mean when I say average tackles make a bag. Who is paying? Who looked at Dan Moore's tape and said 80 mil? Now, don't get me wrong. He's going to look better on the Titans than he did with us because who was our quarterback?
Right?
Who holds on to the ball for 7 seconds at a time?
So, I just want to say something real quick. So, I have a new nominee for the NFL Football Hall of Fame. Would you like to hear the name in the case?
Yes, I would.
All right. So, this is my proposed Hall of Famer.
Jordy
Okay?
Nelson.
I would like to nominate Jeff Nally of CAA for getting Dan Moore $82 million. Welcome to the NFL Hall of Fame, brother. Welcome to the Hall of
I
Fame.
was like, where are you going with this? I don't know who that is. Yo.
Yo, you need just hang his blazer right next to Kirk Cousins' agent.
Justin Fields' agent, too.
Oh, well, no, that's not too bad. That one's not as bad. But Kirk Cousins' agent and Jeff Nally, they're going to have their blazers hanging in the rafters.
heck
Good
yeah.
for those guys, dude.
That's
Good for
wild.
them.
Absolutely wild.
They got like the LeBron James of agents, dude. I mean, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. But that's pretty much all the Titans have done so far. So we'll see.
Jaguars.
Been making moves.
I don't know about the De'Ami Brown signing. I don't.
Before we get in, or as we get into the Jaguars, it's just another thing I would like to say. Unc, 3 years, $30 million.
I wish.
Congratulations.
I wish.
When are you moving to Jacksonville?
I'm not. I'm not.
Because the Jacksonville Jaguars have signed Jordan Lewis to a 3-year, $30 million, $20 million guaranteed.
It's not me though. He has
Highest
a U in his name. That's the only difference between.
highest paid nickel corner in the league. Good for him. I didn't think he was that good. But good
I
for
saw
him.
some Cowboys that were upset that he wasn't back. So maybe he was better than we thought he was.
Yeah. But other than that, they stole Pat McCary from us, 3 years, $37 million. I wanted McCary back because of his versatility. He can play all 5 positions on the O line, but we ain't giving him that kind of money. And then they got Eric Murray from the Texans, 3 years, $22.5 million. That's a good serviceable safety. The Colts, I don't know.
Travarius Ward's good, but
yeah, I like the deal for that. Daniel Jones is like whatever. The Cam
he might be
Bynum
better
thing,
than Ant, though. I'm not gonna lie, which is crazy to say.
he could be this year's Sam Darnold, but like they're going all in on the defense, but like are they ready to go all in? Like I didn't know like I like the signings like in a vacuum, like those 2 signings, very good signings. Not complaining about that, but it's just like where the Colts are now. Like I don't know if they needed those, if that makes sense. So intrigued to see how that plays out. The Texans, I don't know what they're doing. All they've done is trade for Christian Kirk and CJ. So
Christian Kirk's a boomer bust. I mean, they only traded the 7th, so we'll see how it goes. If he works out how he could work out, it's a good signing.
they got rid of Tunsil. They got rid of Kenyon Green for Gardner Johnson. So
No, that stuff I don't know what they're doing, but I mean, as far as these 2 signings,
yeah, we'll see. Moving on. AFC East, we got the Justin Fields to the Jets, 2 years, $40 million with $30 million guaranteed. I like this for Justin.
I
This
love
is
it for
this is a
Justin
good
too.
deal. This is a good deal because if he balls out, they got him on a deal, and if he sucks, they can cut him, and it doesn't screw their crap up. This is a win-win in my opinion.
Because
And
both
he's
of them,
guaranteed to start.
he
which
still
is what he
gets
wanted.
$20 million a year. They get a possible heir apparent to whoever their last quarterback was that was good, Mark Sanchez.
Franchise, baby.
But no, I like this. They got a roster that'll suit Justin. They got Brees Hall. They got Garrett Wilson. They still got a decent defense. So we'll see. I think they'll be decent if they can tailor to Justin Fields, his play style.
Which
'Cause
they
they're
will.
not going to be
They
throwing it all
definitely,
over the
they're
yard.
definitely going to give him every chance to succeed.
But when you got a running game like that, again, they couldn't run the ball that well. Hopefully that changes when you introduce Justin Fields to the mix because of his threat with his legs as well. So we'll also see what they do with their linemen. But because their interior was
Yeah.
dog water. But
Yeah.
again, we'll see. That's my only gripe with them. They can't really run the ball. They were kind of like us as far as just being inconsistent. Like they have talent at running back, like Braylon Allen and Brees Hall. Very talented duo. It's just offensive line woes and offensive coordinator woes. So we'll see what they do this year.
I'm happy for Justin. He gets
Oh,
his
very
chance
much
to
so.
start
Yeah,
through
I'm glad he
himself.
got his
I think Aaron Glenn's a good coach too, so I'm excited to see what they cook here. Jets signed Brandon Stevens to a 3-year
Greatest contract in free agency right there, boy.
Normally, I'm pretty pissed when the Ravens lose people in free agency, but Brandon Stevens, man,
I'm cool with this.
yeah, get him
I
out.
bet.
I'm about had it with him. I've about had it with him. And then they re-signed their middle linebacker, I don't even
Jamie
know
and I
his name.
guess.
Yeah, Jamie and Sherwood, 3 years, $45 million. Good for him.
Patriots signed Josh Dobbs. That's underrated.
Patriots, to me, are one of the winners of free agency because they had the most cap space, and boy, they used it. And they brought in some culture setters, too, like Josh Dobbs, great person. Mac Hollins, great person. Morgan Moses, absolute dog, great deal. Harold Landry, dog, and can still play really good, great deal. Milton Williams just came from the Eagles who won the Super Bowl, great deal.
Are they trading
Spillane,
Joe Milton with this Josh Dobbs signing?
I think they're interested in it, but it depends on what they get back for it. But like Milton Williams from the Eagles, the defensive tackle who had 2 sacks, worth it. Bob Spillane, you know that dude is an absolute nuclear.
He's a dog.
weapon.
Yeah, he's a dog. Good deal for him.
Yeah. And then they got Carlton Davis too to go along.
Underrated signing. That's the Christian Gonzalez. That's a good
Yes,
signing.
I was literally about to say that.
Good
so
signing.
watch out for the Patriots. They might win like 8 games next year.
Very good signing.
Mike Vrabel came out absolutely swinging in his first offseason, and as a Drake May fan, I'm here for it. All they need is to sign Cooper Kupp and draft well, and I think they'll put a bow on this offseason, and it'll be a massive W for them. Dolphins haven't really done much. They brought in Zach Wilson, so I guess Zach Wilson's going to love all of the MILFs in Miami. And then James Daniel.
That one hurt me. If James Daniels is healthy, they have a steal. James Daniels is one of the best guards in the league when healthy. He just happened to blow his freaking knee out with us. He was our best lineman easily. If he is healthy Actually, I think it was his Achilles. If he is healthy, coming off of this, it was either Achilles or knee. I forget which one it was. But coming off this injury, if he is healthy, they have a steal for that contract,
Good
an
for them.
absolute steal.
Yeah, the Dolphins are over the cap, so they got to figure out what they're doing. But for what they brought in and how much they've paid, it's not bad additions. They definitely need to address that secondary though. Whew. And then the Bills, they've only made one signing. They're bringing in Josh Palmer for 3 years, 36 million, 18 guaranteed from the Chargers.
There's a
It's
reason
not
that the
about-
Chargers let him walk.
It's not who the Bills have brought in. It's who the Bills have retained that is good for them.
That's more
'cause,
important.
yeah, they paid Josh Allen generate like the market resetting contract. They kept Greg Rousseau, who was their best pass rusher. They kept Terrell Bernard, who was their best middle linebacker. And they kept him on good deals too. So Buffalo's cooking. Brandon Bean cooking. Buffalo's
Yeah.
gonna be dangerous next year.
Yeah. Let's get
And
into the
now-
best division in football,
To
man.
the filet mignon of the NFL free agency in terms of our coverage, the AFC North.
Which is we actually don't have a lot, which is crazy. I think there
For
was
the
more
Ravens
so-
before free agency, they re-signed Ronnie Stanley to a 3-year, $60 million deal. I don't hate it. If it was 3 years, $90 million, I'd be so pissed off. But 3 years, 60, I don't hate it. That's about what I think he's worth. So, but I was gonna ask you if you've heard about the signings the Ravens made or not.
No.
Because there isn't any.
In all fairness, the Steelers haven't made any either. We just let everybody go. 25% of our freaking roster from last year.
Dude, like
The hell you doing?
I don't know. Like they're just what are we doing? We're just letting people walk and we haven't signed a single person. Not one. Not one.
We love to
Haven't
get
made
y'all
any
sloppy
trades.
seconds, boy.
You really do.
It's
With-
weird.
We'll get
Y'all
into
and the Eagles is there. We always go after everybody's those two sloppy seconds. It's either the Eagles we get somebody from them, or it's the Ravens. I don't understand what the
Yeah,
obsession
you guys
is.
just love in division people.
I don't know what
And
the
then
obsession is.
the Browns have they made the Kenny Pickett trade now, but they've only made one signing, re-signing Myles Garrett. That to me is very
Telling, in my opinion.
something's up with that. Something's got to be fishy.
I
Myles
don't know what they're doing.
Miles is very adamant that it was not about the money, but then he re-signed.
So are they? You think
So-
they have to make a big splash then?
So
If they're signing him back, they have to have promised him that they're making a splash somewhere.
yeah, so I think this is probably how it went down. So I'll be Miles, you be Andrew Barry, the GM. So knock on the door. Hey, Andrew, trade me. I want out. I want to win.
You want $40 million a year?
Did that begin with a 4?
Yes,
Do you have a
it
pen?
did. Yeah, yeah.
You
You
have
got
a
a
pen? That number began with a 4? I beg your pardon?
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Yeah, dog.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was.
Not saying he's not deserving because he's literally their whole defense. It's like TJ with us.
Yeah. As a Steelers fan, you should be pissed about this contract, not because they're keeping Miles, but because that TJ price is going up.
I told you what I think. I think we're not winning anything anytime soon. Get a king's ransom for TJ while he's still only 30.
They're not going to do that.
They're not going to do it, but that's what they should do.
Pittsburgh would burn to the ground if they traded TJ Watt.
Oh, they would, but people got to realize we know that the Steelers fans are one of the top 3 delusional fan bases in the league. It doesn't
yeah.
matter what you do, you'll never satisfy them. So the Cowboys that are delusional, Steeler fans are delusional. I'd put y'all up there, and I definitely put the Eagles up there too. Even though they got something to be delusional about because they're good, but they're annoying.
Skins would be bummed out.
But like, there's no way that people look at our current situation when we never change and think that we got a Super Bowl in us for the next couple of years. No. So what you need to do is, I'm not going to lie, it might be time for a blow up and just,
They will never do that.
which
Ever.
sucks, but they need to do that.
They
Start from
should
the
have
ground
blew it
up.
up once Ben retired.
Sucked for a couple years, not drafted Kenny Pickett, or if you
Think
were
of who
draft
you
Kenny
could have
Pickett in the second
drafted
years.
If you blew it up, you could have had Caleb, could have had Drake, could have had Jaden.
And then I saw our last 5 first-round picks option decline. It was Terrell Edmonds, Najee Harris, Devin Bush, Kenny Pickett, and I'm missing one, but they were terrible. All of them were terrible. Options declined. As far as productivity, Najee's probably the best out of all of them, which is very
Yeah,
telling.
definitely.
Very telling. We just been missing on these first round picks, man. And I blame most of it for Colbert. I'm not. We still have to see what's going on with
Yeah, because
Troy
Porter's looking
Fautanu.
like a miss.
And
Well, he's not a first. He should have been a first, but he wasn't.
who?
Porter.
Yeah. So we'll see. I like what Khan has done so far. I got my gripes with him because I still feel like he has that Colbert mentality where it's. I know we call him the con artist, but like there's some stuff like we just refuse to sit on. Like we don't pause. That didn't sound right. Like we refuse to like throw our hat in the ring. Like
Right.
stuff that makes sense for us and that we have the cap for. We have cap space. Go get a Travarius Ward. Don't sign a
Have
Darius
like
Slay.
$50 million, yeah.
Don't sign a Darius Slay. Go get Travarius Ward. Go get Carlton Davis to go opposite Joey. What are we doing getting Darius Slay? He's only playing one more year. You like to get old corners and put a Band-Aid on it. You got Joe Hayden. You got Pat Pete. Now you got Darius Slay. Freaking Pat Pete had to move to safety. Joe Hayden at least gave us 2-3 decent years before he fell off. He
thought
was
he
with
was
us for
pretty
like a
decent,
total of
yeah.
5. He was good for like 3 years. Those last 2, iffy. Real iffy.
You guys couldn't have gave Charvarius Ward 3 years, $60 million, 35 guaranteed.
We could have gave Carlton Davis what he got.
No, but I'm saying I would have rather have had Ward.
Yeah, I'm just saying either one of those two I would have taken over Slay. If it's just for the year, I'm cool with Slay. But I'd rather have a younger corner that you know you can sign to a multiple year deal. That's a position you don't have to
Or
worry
what about
Right then
DJ
and there.
Reed? Like that the Lions got.
Him too. I'm trying to tell you, there was more out on the market. We just settled like we always do. We're like, okay, since
You
we
guys
got
missed on
DK,
that one.
we're just gonna settle just because we made a big move. That's the first big move that you guys have made in years, and it's because you absolutely had to. Absolutely had to. I don't understand why you won't. Like, it's turning into a rant, but it makes me mad that they will not conform to like the NFL. This is why we don't win. This is why we don't compete with y'all on a regular basis. Regular season, sure, but when it comes to playoffs, there's no chance. And when it comes to competing with the Bengals, only reason we're beating the Bengals is because they have a trash defense. But on a regular basis, when the Bengals are as good as they are, we're not gonna beat the Bengals. Like we are the third best team in the division. We will have the third best quarterback in the division. We're just the third best roster in it. Like, bro, the AFC is stacked. You have 2 of the top teams in the AFC in the same division. You have all the best quarterbacks are all in the AFC. And you
You
think
better
you're
believe
gonna
it.
trot out. You think you're gonna trot out freaking 2 of them are in the division. And you think you're gonna trot out Kenny Pickett. He's gone now. You think you're gonna trot out Russell Wilson and you gonna win something. Oh my gosh, it burns me up just thinking about it. Like how they think. Like I don't know how you think like that. Like I could be a GM, I could be a head. Well, no,
Bro,
I
we
couldn't be
really
Tomlin.
could be.
But I could be an assistant coach and help. I could be a scouter. Like what are we doing here?
Bro, we really could be like co-GMs.
It makes me like I'm itching just thinking. Like it gave me hives or something. I'm itching, bro. I'm so mad, but I'm done.
Not the hives.
I'm done with my rant, bro.
Sorry. Just think, it's a step in the right direction.
I'm over it. And now we're waiting on freaking Aaron Rodgers to choose between us and the New York Giants. This shouldn't even be this thought out, but it's because of our freaking organization. So incompetent. I would think about it too if I was Aaron. You telling me I got to move out of the Big Apple to go play for Tomlin and that and go 9-8?
It's better than going 5-11 with the Giants.
I don't know, man. I don't know. And apparently we've reached out to Mason Rudolph.
Oh boy.
I can't do it, bro.
I didn't even know he was available.
I don't got this, man. I don't got this. I'm hurting, bro.
Which is crazy because y'all were so hype about getting DK.
I'm hurting really bad, bro. Like, Steelers Twitter is in shambles right now. You should see. It's so funny because people were like, "How did we go from like the highest high to like the depths in the span of like 24 hours?" It's been
In the
so
span
crazy,
of this episode.
bro. It's so crazy. Like, I'm trying to my only saving grace is the DK trade, and even that has its drawbacks. So it's like, I don't know, man. I really don't
If
know.
you guys would have did the DK thing and then brought in Ward or Davis, I think you could have made no other moves and it would have been a massive W.
It would have been a great free agency for me.
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. Darius Slays is still putting good tape out there. But the fact that he's 35 years old, 34, whatever he is, doesn't it doesn't help me. It doesn't help me. We only got him for a year. This man was contemplating retirement in the offseason, and you think he's your best option available at cornerback. Bro.
They still
Play
think Joe
wise,
Porter can be a corner one.
play wise, he might be one out of this free agent class. But you also got to think about the roster that he was on. So it's not a guarantee that he's going to give you the same play and productivity on your defense, even though your defense is
Now that
talented.
you bring it up, I think the Steelers blew it on the corner.
That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying.
That's very compelling. Yeah,
That's all
now
I'm
that I
saying,
think about
man.
it. I think
And you
got-
had the money to do it, and you didn't. You could have got somebody younger who drop off and play from Darius Slay isn't like the most significant thing in the world, and you would have had him on a multi-year deal.
Yeah, because at least the Ravens have an excuse. They only have $10 million in cap space.
We have no excuse, and we've been cutting people.
It's like
To
the
get more
first
cap
time-
space.
It's like the first time you guys have ever had above like $30 million in cap space.
It's ridiculous, bro. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't know. You got anything else, man?
No, I think we can end on
Ah!
end on that little rant.
I'm stressed, man. I'm about to go get a ciggy or something, man. I'm
Yeah,
tired of it.
I'm gonna have to spark one.
I need a port, man.
Jesus.
I need an all natural. I need
If
something.
you've listened this far, thank you so much, and we appreciate and love all the support. It means the absolute world to us. Hopefully, this helps you keep track of who went where and who's making moves and who's not. But we always say, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that follow button, make sure you're following us on TikTok and Instagram. We really appreciate all the support. This means the world to us, guys. I'm just trying to live out my dream, man.
Absolutely. Like my partner in crime was saying, we're trying to make this dream a reality. I know this episode is more so informative, but it's very fun for us. If you're a sport head and you just love listening to us talk about this stuff, just please like, comment, subscribe on all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Apple Pod, anything that you get your podcast on, we're on. So please go give us a follow. We appreciate you guys, bro. I love you. Let's just keep this train rolling, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, I love you too, big dog. And flag throwers, we'll see y'all next week. See ya.